Third time is the charm. Welcome back, everyone, to the Elder Scrolls brand new series. This will be a temporary series going on for the first 5 episodes, with the first one being 30 minutes, then the following being 15 apiece, while we wait for some Game of Thrones mods to update and kind of play around and have a good time. We jump in with our new character, as you saw from the thumbnail, of the House of Snownoze, with the family house words, "In the snow we stand wired." To give you a little TLDR about our character here, we have, he is, story-wise, an individual who had spent his time going to the School of Winterhold up here in the far, far north end edges, surviving where he could, learning magic as he could, and then becoming not the greatest mage, as he found himself barely managing to graduate, mostly due to his immense schnoz in the distance, sniffing in the libraries, causing the other students to feel slightly creeped out and worried as things would go on. Because of this, they gave him a degree, an honorary degree, as a novice evoker, recognizing that his skill was just enough to cast Fireball, which, hey, some days that's all you need. He would be knighted later on in his life, given the title of Huskarl, under the Great King of the Rift, which I'll explain how that story came to be. Born as in the year of the thief, or under the stars of the thief. Not as familiar with Elder Scrolls lore, I do apologize. So if you do actually know a bit more about the lore, feel free to kind of comment down below and let me know about things if I mixed up things, because I'm not as familiar with the Burstein stuff. Other than that, when you're born under them, they do give you kind of like stereotypes, similar to the Chinese zodiac. If you're a rooster, for example, I think it's like you're considered more aggressive and cocky. Whereas like the rat is more cunning and more prone to like lying and such like that. Similar idea, I believe. For those who aren't familiar, if you're not a big Elder Scrolls fan, or you don't or you're just more not big onto the lore, don't worry. I'm not going to heavily bombard you. I don't know much, but I do enjoy the comments as you guys leave them down below. Let me know about stuff, especially if I like run into a Daedric prince or something like that, and you're like, "Yo, by the way, that was this person, and you are so lucky to be aligned because of all this." I'm down. I'll look it up, and I might actually talk about that in the videos. So feel free to post that stuff because I love reading that. Just might not be an immediate video because, of course, I like to put these together in like little groups as I record. But continuing on with our story, he isn't attuned, so he does have a bit of natural magic. The Huskarl Trennothy here is not an incapable mage himself. In truth, he is a genius. His genius just doesn't work in the same traditional sense. His mind a little bit more unique in its perspectives, MacGyvering many contraptions, changing his spells to be simpler but yet more powerful in many cases. And of course, he was born with the greatest schnoz of the land. There were dragons that saw this and were impressed, baffled by its immensity. Many did not believe he would live through his adulthood, because the nose took in so much oxygen, truly, at the end of the day. And due to this, the world declared him hideous, though he himself thinks himself a beautiful amalgamation of Keanu Reeves, with the Vegeta peaks, the long, flowing locks of Keanu Reeves. Is totally because of the fact that he doesn't have a widow's peak that could rival anyone with a 6 head. No, he is beautiful in his own eyes. An insightful thinker, because, after so many years at college, he learned quite a lot. He learned to study, learned to catch up on a few things, but he wasn't the best student. He was a C student on a good day, D student on his normal days. As we mentioned, barely passing out of Winterhold. An eccentric man, he finds himself kind of always thinking differently from how other people look at him, but he always gets there in the end, which will explain his little story here in a minute, his background. Being a content man, he doesn't really seek out much expansion himself. He's not looking to grow his lands. He just truly wants to understand magic and live a comfortable life. And because of this, he really does not like combat. He's a very fearful combat. He is not a combat mage. He is a man who wants to live forever, and we'll be kind of playing that to such. So the story goes, for those kind of wanting to be filled on how he came to the Vermin Woods. Lord Trennothy, after graduating, became an adventurer, thinking, I want to be like the Dragonborn of the First Era. I could be great like him. I read all these books. I've read all these tales. I just need to seek out a few things. Get a Daedric Prince's blessing, maybe get a god's blessing. Maybe I can be the man who unites Skyrim, or maybe my child would. He, filled with grand dreams, became an adventurer, seeking out tombs, checking on grand abandoned towers, wiping out bandits, fighting hordes of orcs. But none of that actually happened, as on his first adventure, he found a rat that chased him all the way to Riften. It was a large rat, in all fairness, able to eat a small dog, or at least so Lord Trennothy claimed, as he would run from all the way from Winterhold down to the rift, finding himself in these vermin woods, being chased by this large dire rat that would chase him up a tree, scaring him to the point that he would not come down for days on end. Until a carriage came by, the king of the rift himself, looking around, curious why he heard crying, the sounds of a woman wailing, and checking out the area, he looked around in surprise to find nothing there, until suddenly a large mud crab came out of the swamps and tried to attack him. Now you're thinking, Lenmin Trennothy jumped into action, fought the crab to its end. No, but that is what King Calathar saw. A man who jumped from a tree, mad with anger, violence, and shooting off balls of magic. He landed on that crab, managing to crush it into the ground, and immediately killing it with his first strike. What truly happened from poor Lenmin Trennothy's perspective was as a winter caterpillar fell upon his head, thinking it was a frost troll come to eat him from the trees. He jumped from the tree, immediately screaming in madness and fear as he landed upon what he thought was a rock. Unfortunately, as his bony nose managed to smack straight into the top shell of this mud crab, it would pierce through, stabbing the mud crab instantly in the center heart, the crab falling and breaking apart. King Calathar found himself saved, shocked by the legendary figure, his magic, his capabilities, his genius, and granted him land over the vermin woods to rule indefinitely until his family proved disloyal. And that is where we come to as we continue the series. Now, there is a theme and a plan to how this series will go. The idea here of what I'm planning to do as you see this character. Now, you're thinking, first off, what are you going to do with a content character? Well, let me explain some things. First off, we do have generals kind of come with goals. We're going to play to the character. The idea is the perspective is we want to play to the personality of the character as much as possible. But eventually, we might conquer all of Tamriel. We may become the Dragonborn. Who knows? There's a lot of places this story could go. And I'm kind of leaving it up to you lot in the comments to see where we want to take this, what direction we want to take this with the character. As I do these small snippets of their lives. So, with that in mind, we look at this from a different perspective, as we take a character who is content, and think, oh, well, he's not going to go to war. That's not true. A content character doesn't seek out more power. He doesn't seek out strength. He doesn't seek out rulership. He seeks to live, but if someone pokes him and tries to take from him, he's not going to let that stand. He will take what is his. He is a genius after all, but he's not going to seek out power. So when someone attacks us, we will make sure to end their line. Now, we won't be leading, we will also be leading on every battlefield because it is the Norseman way. Even though we're craven, we still have to stand up for our men. That will also be part of this kind of challenge. And lastly, those characters who are ambitious, those characters who are greedy, those characters who kind of fit that idea of conquest, we're going to kind of set little sub-goals of theirs, not just for land grabs. We want to kind of focus them. So this will be kind of a story-driven campaign. The idea will be a little bit slower in content. We're going to keep it 4-speed like always, but yeah. And we're going to see where these stories kind of go. If you guys enjoy this, though, make sure, of course, if I haven't already said it before, and I do apologize if I have, feel free to give the episode a like. If you dislike the content, feel free to give it a dislike. Feel free to leave a comment down below on what you like, what you dislike, any cool lore bits I might not know or recognize that you do and want to kind of inform me about, and maybe give us cool ideas to go chase after if you know something like some cool relic or artifact that would be really fitting for this, or like a land that we'd want to conquer. Or religion that might be cool to investigate. Yeah. And then, of course, if you're new, feel free to subscribe. We're always looking for new subscribers to grow the channel. Don't worry, I'm not looking to do some... What are they even called now? Is it OnlyFans now for YouTube creators? I don't even know these days. OnlyPans? Only YouTube. I don't know. I'm not looking to do any of those donation sites. I'm not looking to get your donations. I don't. Your money is your money. These days, economics are tough. Keep that stuff. I just want you guys to enjoy the content. If you enjoy it, feel free to give it a thumbs up, comment, and that's really what helps us in the algorithms of YouTube. Honestly, so for some reason, my Bruce Wayne or my House Wayne series has been blown up because of that. So, kind of check that out. But yeah, so with that in mind, we're here. We're going to get into it only 10 minutes into the episode as we bump in. So we start with our great leader, Trennothy here. We need to get ourselves first a lifestyle perk. Now, our goal is to eventually live forever, and we can see that he's kind of gone down already, alteration and illusion. A focused mage who doesn't want to be bothered, chased. I think our goal is we're going to try and max out all of our magic in his lifetime because he was someone who sought out the Mages College and wants to continue to practice. So let's continue working our way down the magical theory focus here. But magic is nothing to be toyed with. There is centuries worth of experience in books. Why repeat past mistakes? And he's right. We'll kind of work our way through the different magics. I think, ideally, I'm going to go down Alteration first, and then Illusion. Actually, I think Illusion makes more sense as a Craven, and then Alteration, then Conjuration. And then probably Restoration before Destruction, since this will help us live forever. We do have a perk already in our learning, and as you can kind of see, we do have expanded trees, so that's kind of the cool thing here. I think we'll pick up Herbalist just from the alchemy tree, and we might come back to this here later. I haven't checked out many of the side trees here, as you can kind of see, like Crime Boss. This one gives you Founder. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Ooh. There's Plunder, of course, is our favorite, and Worldly in here as well. So there's some really cool traits in here to really expand a character's perspective and personality, which I'm looking forward to playing around with. Next, we need to, well, get married or pick a pantheon. Let's pick a patron. So we have a few of these. We're going to look at the effects first, and then we'll kind of decide from there. Since we are a learning-based character, but we are genius, so I feel like right now our main goal is a toss-up between Jehunal here, probably Stoon, and where's the fertility god up here? This one, Mara. So let's read what they say. So Mara's got goddess of love, compassion, and the bounty of nature, presides over marriage ceremonies befitting her ancient origins as fertility. Oh yeah, I remember her in Skyrim. You get one of her necklaces to give to people. Okay, I kind of like that. I kind of dig that. Where's the other one? We said Jehul here. The rune god represented by an owl, god of hermetic orders, knowledge and wisdom, who has fallen out of favor. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. And then, of course, we got Stoon here, the whale god of ransom, brother of Soon and Shield. And Shield Dane of Shore. Wow. He taught us the benefits of ransom and taking prisoners of war. I kind of like the idea of this guy, because he's fallen out. It might be an interesting one to become a follower of. There's not going to be many, and I kind of like the idea of messing around with that. So we got our religion here, which kind of makes sense. We do have war worshippers. I don't think, again, we're going to be pushing too hard into it for this character, but we'll see how things kind of go. And before we get into marriage, let's look at our men-at-arms. So we got some Huskarls that we were awarded by the great king himself, so we'll store those in our capital to keep us safe. I don't think we'll create an acolyte, because I don't think he's Craven. I don't think he trusts anybody yet to become his acolyte. We do have a court mage, Faruki. Interesting. She is arcanely gifted, but you wouldn't think she was a mage proper. All right, well, we'll bring her in. Why not? Oh, never mind. You are expensive. We need our cash. Sorry. All right. Let's take a look real quick at our council. Oh my god, wow, Trennothy is very disappointed in what he's seeing. We're going to start developing our capital because, we are a genius. We don't want to let this territory go to waste. Yeah, please train our men-at-arms, and then do we have a better spy master? Thank you. So we got some interesting characters here, for those who want to kind of look at them for a second, taking a second. As we go through. Oops, I didn't actually take a look. Can I replace you? Yeah, because my court priest, no, not by much. Okay. Alright, well, with that in mind, that's that. Let's find ourselves a wife. Do any of you, out of curiosity, have, like, Oh, hello, Bjorga of the House of... Or, sorry, Thanya of House of Bjorga. Your father is a brilliant strategist, dauntless leader, and is of the Bjorga line, which is mainly the nobility line here. Of the Kingdom of the Rift. There's House Blackthorn, which I haven't messed around with. I'd be kind of curious to see if they are still around. They are. That might be a fun achievement, or not achievement necessarily, but a playthrough to go through once they update. Maybe go through and play through as him and see how far we can get. Alright. So, we need to find ourselves a wife. Ideally, we are looking for those who are arcanely blessed. But I feel like they have to be Nordic, so we gotta go through all this, right? We don't want lowborn. Can't do that, because that wouldn't make sense. We're not gonna be able to get set up. We don't want them to be a ruler. We do want prestige gain. I don't really care about alliance. Culture. I feel like East Marcher in general makes sense. Oh, well, there's no inheritable. Okay. Alright, so we're in trouble. Out of curiosity, is there even anybody that is inheritable? I'm not going to choose anyone. I'm just generally curious, out of curiosity, to see if anybody has arcane gifts. No. Okay. So, I think then, with that in mind, we're going to instead focus on, I think, overall, taking Thanya as our wife. Oh, the game will not let me. Alright, well, I had to try. Alright, what about you? You do have a daughter. She is deceitful. It's not... Oh, he won't even give me an alliance. Why not? Is dear to his clan. Oh, okay. Well, alright. We're not well loved. We're learning things, people. We're learning things. Half this is just going to be us trying to find someone who wants to sleep with us, which is not something I ever thought I'd struggle with. How about you? Nope. Nope. Why not? As important as deer. Okay. Well. Okay. We might have to go a little bit more outside of our interest here. We could, to legitimize ourselves here, marry into the Blackthorn family, which is kind of tempting. She's a bit on the older side here, but that wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing, as long as she can still have kids. I think she's still fertile? Yeah, 50%. So it's not fantastic, but it's not terrible. And she is of the house, which would make sense why we would do it, is because we are looking to kind of legitimize our rule here. So I think we will. We'll marry into, or Ada of House Blackthorn, take her into the family, see where that goes. And then we'll seduce her. You know, we'll give her the old nose waggle. Alright, let's, romance. Yes, very hard. Ooh, well, you don't know how determined we are. Ada won't resist our charms for long. Waggles nose in appreciation. Alright, let's see. What are you good at for skill-wise? Okay, not much. So let's go patronage, to boost that up. And we're broke. We have no money. However, we can go raiding. No, we cannot. Alright, fantastic. We're going to bump up our speed a little bit to get a couple of events firing off here as we start into this. I do have immediately acclaim, actually. We could... See, now again, we are a genius, and it is kind of tempting. However, I think our first goal is to have a kid, because, of course, you know, Landman Trennothy here is a smart man. Speak and you shall be delivered. Fate smiles upon me. My wife, Lindman Ada, is bearing my child. Fantastic. Now, as the kid is born, then we will plan our wars. Because, again, we're going to enforce our commands. He's craven, but he's an eccentric man. And he's genius, so he's not going to let his wife go to waste on that. 61. We could bribe a hunter for 15 gold. I saw a shaggy beast in the kennel. I mean, we're not... Yeah, well, for 15... You know what? It's a steal. It's a steal, and let's get our wife to love us more. I think it makes sense. Yeah, I know I'm not hiring a personal physician. They're expensive. There we go. All right. Now we're hiring one. And now our gold has come in. There is no there is no worm lovelier. Oh man, gentlemen, that is how you pick up a woman. There is no woman lovelier than Lendwoman Ada. In her presence, my words often fail me. None of my compliments ever do her justice. Perhaps a carefully drafted poem would better capture her virtues. I will write about her fearlessness. I mean, she is a warrior. She did not respond. Okay. I've been left unread by my own wife. Damn, that hurts. Woo! That is just mean. By kind, Lendwoman Ada is an insufferable wench. Have you seen how she shoots daggers from her eyes? Ridiculous! My spymaster Thalnir throws his head back with a wicked laugh. Ada is still conversing with her friends, but I can still tell she hurt him. I hate to see her hurt. Vile lies! Draw your sword! No, you should apologize. Yes, as he leans in, staring at the man, whispering quietly as he says, you should apologize to the lady. You refuse! Alright, well, sir, I don't think you understand. This is my woman, and I will have you executed. While he doesn't stand for people trying to, stand against his wife. I mean, he is trying to seduce her. While he's content, he is eccentric. Not a man who's going to back down and be like, yep, that's fine, that's cool. You can just go ahead and say that. Plus, I mean, while he's craven, he doesn't enjoy being challenged. So, to that perspective, he killed the man. It makes sense. Rest in peace, my man. Praise to Bella. Ada has given birth to a perfect little daughter. My little daughter was born under the sign of the thief. Oh, sad. Those born under the sign are said to take risks more often and only rarely come to harm. Fantastic. They will run out of luck eventually, however, and are said to rarely live as long as those born under other signs. That makes sense. One day, child, you will carry on my legacy. What name would befit such a mighty lady? Ada, named after my great wife, my fantastic wife, and she is only hideous. Oh, good. We are a bioweapon now as a family. Real question is, we'll know if she's ours because she'll inherit the nose when she grows up. Romance the Wild Hunt. When Lendwoman Ada suggested a hunt, I did not hesitate to organize one. I would do anything for a mere glimpse of my little firebrand. I'm stalking through the underbrush, my page at my heel and my hound just ahead. It seems as if it has found a trail. Then suddenly my concentration is shattered by a woman's scream. I am coming for you, my love. Ada, I am coming! I burst through the foliage into the clearing, my heart beating wildly, sweat streaming down my face. But the scene before me is not what I expected. There is my stag, yes, but it is on the ground, an arrow struck between its eyes. Ada lowers her bow as she turns to face me. What is this about, Lindman Trennothy? Did you think me incapable of defending myself? I got lost? Well, that went about as smooth as his normal Tinder experience. Can relate, though. Can relate. We've all been there. Oh. Don't you just hate it when you take a woman hunting and she kills the deer after you think she's about to die? Oh, horrible, horrible thing. Our nights are improving. Fantastic. Don't mind me enjoying my cup of coffee in the morning. So delicious. As we continue on with our mighty tale. Also, for those wondering where the music comes from, so I am listening to a thing called, or a lo-fi beat in the background that is, I've been told is non-copyright, so, that's what it says in the title. If I get copyright strike, I swear to God, YouTube, you didn't copyright strike them. Though, to be fair, I don't monetize my videos, which, someone explain that, but yeah, let's not get out of the lore. Let's immerse ourselves back into the game for a second. Alright, let's see. Anything we can get up to? I'm actually kind of curious. While things are kind of passively going on, what's going on over here? This curtain of through the curtain of captive blood, Alexius has glimpsed the mysterious of the to say sense. So what are these? What is this? Is this like some Is this the Yuan-Ti, like, guardsman that came after the first Dragonborn, like, took the throne of the, of Tamriel or something like that? Or am I, like, completely off base with my lore? Listen, if you are a major Elder Scrolls, like, lore fan, I'm so sorry. You're gonna hate me throughout this, as I'm gonna ask a lot of dumb questions. I apologize. But, here we go. Clairvoyant. Most people believe that illusion is all about deception, and even though this assessment isn't wrong per se, there is, of course, more to this school than mere glamours and mirages. For instance, through apophatic intrusions projected into one's surroundings, one can turn the fundamental magics into of an illusion into something that reveals the truth instead of concealing it. The simple clairvoyance spell. Granted, its scope is limited. I have found no reference to it being refined to such a degree where it could rival the alleged prophetic gifts of the wise woman of Morrowind, or even the cultists of Azura. It seems like one can only use it to strengthen intuition, confirm reasonable doubts, and connect thoughts that were already there. But perhaps I could attempt to tune it as high as possible. Dangers and secrets shall lie bare to me. Yes! We didn't get it. Damn it. We may be content, but our magic interests are wide and ever expanding. I'm sad we did not get that. Oh, one day. Good coffee. But yeah, so with this, I think our plan here with this character, now that we've gotten this set up, is we do have a war to declare. And I think that it makes sense that he would go after someone else. You know, you do have an alliance, so you have a decent amount of manpower, and he is actually a pretty good commander. I don't know how confident I feel, but she is in debt, so that's also a bonus here. You know what? No risk, no reward. He is craven, but he can see his odds in his favor. You know, let's maybe secure an alliance first, see if he can. Alliance power. What kind of individuals can we pick up? Eastmarch. Where's Eastmarch? We could pick up a member of our old arcane bloodline, but I'd like to see if we can find... Oh, there's no people that are of arcane. Let's go prestige gain. We want to look specifically to see if anybody's got the arcane abilities in here, because I think our government is equal partition, so meaning it will not favor either side. Let's just see. I'm fully misspelling it, I assume. What is it called? Attuned. That's what I'm looking for. Tuned. Let's see if we can find any nobles. Not a single one. Alright, cool. Then we'll wait some time. I want the war, but I don't think... Again, he's a very insightful thinker. He's not going to attack without reason. So we'll take a minute. We'll relax. Get our commanders up. Get everything kind of built up as we go. We could invite some more commanders, actually. I'm kind of tempted to do that. But we have an election going on. What do you mean? For the Kingdom of Riften. Oh, the king has switched the government type. Well, we're content, man. We don't really mind. Who's the king voting for? We want to be on his good graces. All right, Prince Boromir. Naturally, the natural successor. What do you like, Boromir? You're gregarious. Okay, you're not bad. You're a little bit of a lazy king, but, you know, we're not a hard stickler here ourselves. We could get invisibility. I think let's get calmed overall and continue down our illusionary school. Since we did get our event for it, it makes sense to kind of master that out as best we can. Alrighty. Let's see what we can do here. Last little coffee sip as we come to a close here. So for those who have enjoyed this, if you want to see more, again, feel free to subscribe if you're new, like if you enjoyed it, dislike if you didn't, and of course leave a comment down below. Love lore, love ideas on what you guys think we should do with this character, especially since he's such a magic-focused character. Is there something, like an artifact we should seek out? Is there something specific we should be looking into? Feel free to ping me some ideas in the comments down below. I'll be checking them on the daily as we go through. And we might, if we continue the series and you guys really enjoy it, we'll put all of those into account. Now, for our final event, before we end the session today, before I can dedicate myself to learning the more complex spells and rituals the Alteration School has to offer, it's crucial that I understand its axioms. Poring, someone misspelled that, over lengthy and boring tomes can only do so much. However, okay, it might be a grammatical thing that's bugging me. I'm not a guy to speak to on grammar, I'm just saying that's a little weird. Still, I find it difficult to envision how the formulae, okay, and equations, the abstract forces and their predicted operations can be encountered in nature, let alone manipulated. Putting aside the books on the kinetic forces, I decided that I might just understand them if I can connect them to two common alteration spells, Burden and Feather. And observe how these forces affect objects and are in turn affected by magicka. I can send for 2 research objects to be brought to me. Now, in my experience when playing with magic, you should never combine magics because it usually blows up in your face. At least that's what I've learned in my experience. Let's see, it's somewhat less conventional. I can cast Burden on this feather instead. I will cast Feather on this piece of lead. Ooh, let's take let's get the extra arcane. Why not? There we go, up to 10 arcane, that is fantastic. But with that, we thank you all for watching today's episode. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next week for part 2 of the Elder Scrolls series, which I haven't come up with a name for yet. So, we'll see what I post.